orders. City of Forest Park, City Council meeting number 1272, May 16, 2016. Let us stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Burns.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Cottle.
Here.
Herbie.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Southall.
Here.
All members are present and accounted for. Next item on the agenda, item number 2 is the minutes. You should have received a copy of the minutes in your packet. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none. Item number 3, presentation, business of the month, award, Forest Park Internal Medicine and Pediatrics. Mr. Bay.
Mayor, members of council, thank you very much. Our May business of the month is Forest Park Internal Medicine and Pediatrics, where Dr. Stephen Wilson and his team are committed to providing patients with advanced, compassionate, and expert care so they can live healthy and enjoyable lives. Indeed, he and his team enjoy building relationships with their parents and their families, patients and their families, and they find it incredibly rewarding when they diagnose and treat a problem to help patients get back to what they truly enjoy in life. Part of the Mercy Health Physicians Group, Forest Park Internal Medicine and Pediatrics maintains the highest possible standards. The medical professionals in this office are committed to continuous quality improvement. That commitment guarantees that this team is leading the way when it comes to patient care. Professional certification verifies that standards have not only been met, but surpassed. And indeed, Dr. Wilson and his associates are your partners when it comes to healthcare decisions. Dr. Wilson is a graduate of the Ohio State University. I always have to make sure I say that for my OSU fans. And he holds a master's degree from Harvard University. He has board certifications from the American Board of Internal Medicine and the American Board of Pediatrics. In addition to providing patients with the very best care, this practice also offers special services for the residents in our communities. For example, they offer special programs for Wittenwood High School athletes, and this is just another demonstration of their strong commitment to the Forest Park families and their patients. On behalf of the Economic Development Commission and City of Forest Park, we are proud to recognize Forest Park Internal Medicine and Pediatrics as our May 2016 Business of the Month. And unfortunately, the doctor and his team couldn't be here tonight, but I will make sure that he receives the award.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Paul. Next item on the agenda, item number 4, communications from the public. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions or concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, then state your comments or questions. Council members are tape recorded for ease of transcriptions. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Are there any members of the public who would like to address council? Hearing none, we move to item number 5, reports of standing committees. First of those standing committees is the Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Holt.
I do not have a Human Resource Committee report. However, as the liaison for the Beautification Commission, I just wanted to remind all of the residents that the yard judging is June 11th and 12th, and the commission is still in need of judges to help judge the yards. If you are interested, give us a call, and we'll be happy to have you. With that, it concludes my report. Thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Hearing none, Councilwoman Holt, I have no items on the agenda for you for the meeting on the 23rd. Do you have any to add at this time?
No, I do not. Thanks.
Thank you. Next report is Public Improvement and Facilities Committee, Councilman Southall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have a report for public improvement and facilities at this time.
Okay, any questions for Councilman Southall? Hearing none, Councilman Southall, I don't have any items on the agenda for you, but I will add the one that you just gave to us, Coaching for Life. Do you have any others?
Thank you. No, that would be all I would have at this time.
Thank you. The next, next committee report is Public Safety Committee, Councilwoman Cottle.
I have no reports this evening, thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Cottle? Hearing none. Councilwoman Cottle, I have no items listed on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, thank you.
Next committee report is Ways and Means Committee, Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I just wanted to congratulate the Environmental Awareness Committee for the successful yard sale, annual yard sale that was held the first Saturday in May. And I also wanted to let the residents know that there will be a residential paper shredding event on Saturday, June 4th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Winton Woods High School parking lot. It was very, very successful last year, and we anticipate that there will be many people who will be very happy to see this return. So that would conclude my report.
Any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Hearing none, Councilwoman Herbie, I have no items on the agenda for you for the work session on the 23rd. Do you have any to add?
No, sir.
Next committee report is Community Development, Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report this evening. However, if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions for Mr. Burns? Hearing none, Mr. Burns, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not.
Next committee report is the Law Committee, Councilwoman Collins.
I do not have a report from the Law Committee at this time.
Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Hearing none, Councilwoman Collins, I have no items on the agenda. Do you have any to add
No.
for the work session? Next report is the Intergovernmental Relations and Communications Committee. I have no report. I will answer any questions if there are any. I also do not have any items on the agenda for the work session. We'll go to the next item on the agenda, item number 6, the mayor's report. I have nothing to report other than, as has been mentioned, just want to mention that we do have several ongoing programs. The CHIPPA program is in full swing. The one thing that I would ask Councilman Southall if he would ask the Public Works Department or the city manager if it would be possible to somehow or another repost some of the instructions. One of the problems that I have noted with that is the size of the items that are being put on the curb. A lot of them are far too big. We've had situations where the whole parts of trees have been put out, and the shredder won't shred a lot of that material if it's too big. And secondly, I saw also once where the resident apparently had cut down a row of hedges, and he had put all of the hedges out, all of these out there. I guess it looked like they had just dug them up by the roots, and he put the whole big hedge out there. And that too would be, it would not be possible to shred those. So maybe somehow or another we need to remind the residents of what can be put out, how it should be, how and when it should be put out, and what, as opposed to just putting anything out there. Okay? Thank you, sir. That will conclude my report. If there are questions, I will attempt to answer them. If not, we'll go to item number 7, the city manager's report. Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll only report that the departmental reports have been completed, included in the council packet, and also made available for public inspection with the clerk of council. We're also busy throughout the city with our street program. Everything is going as scheduled and as planned with the street program. And then finally, we have finished the next issue of the Progress, which we were anticipating with no further changes that we'll be releasing it probably tomorrow morning. So that would conclude my report, but I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Mr. Hodges. Any questions for Mr. Hodges? Mr. Burns?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, I do have a question, but I also have a request as a result. There's been several communications related to graffiti and determining root cause of graffiti. And I would just like, for the next work session, if we could have kind of an overview of some of the action steps that have been taking place and where we think those root causes are.
Okay, anything else for the city manager? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Burns. The next item is item number 8, other report. The first of those will be the law director, Mr. Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Previously, I sent over to Mr. Hodges, I'm sure he circulated a Supreme Court decision regarding a prearranged email meeting of council people that was considered a public meeting. Also, I sent an opinion over to Mr. Nacuzzi about how the proper procedure for demolishing abandoned property under our Forest Park Code of Ordinance. And finally, under new business D, there's a request for executive session. Just for clarification purposes, the first 3 items listed there are for pending or threatened litigation, the last item being an employee or personnel matter, rather. And that's the end of my report, unless there are any questions.
Any questions for the law director? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Next report would be the clerk of council, Mrs. Hoffman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance number 09-2016 and resolution numbers 17-2016 and 18-2016 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for clerk of council?
I'd like to say something.
Councilwoman Hope.
I think we'd be remiss, and Sally, I apologize. I just want to extend my sympathy to you and your family in your loss, for your loss.
You're here. Thank you, Councilwoman Hope, for doing that for us. Any other questions? If none, thank you to the clerk of council. Move next to item number 9, new business. Is there a motion? Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that we suspend the rules requiring a reading in full and read by title only resolutions numbered 19-2016 and 20-2016. These resolutions were posted 6 days prior to this meeting.
Second.
Been moved and second that we suspend the rules requiring a reading in full and read by title only resolutions number 19-2016 and 20-2016. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to suspend the rules?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules passed 7-0. First item on the agenda on the new business is item A, resolution number 19-2016. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 19-2016, a resolution consenting to the execution of a redevelopment incentive agreement between TB Mechanical Contractors and the City of Forest Park, Ohio.
Is there a motion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 19-2016.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 19-2016. Is there discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, staff is recommending that we enter into an incentive agreement with TP Mechanical Contractors, an expansion incentive. Their intention is to add a third shift to their operations, which will garner about $1.5 million in additional payroll. And so the incentive is essentially pegged to that additional revenue in the form of a rebate, and I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 19-2016?
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Resolution 19-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item B, resolution number 20-2016. Would the clerk please read this resolution by title only?
Resolution number 20-2016, a resolution consenting to the execution of a redevelopment incentive agreement between Nodum Pharmaceutical Corporation and the City of Forest Park, Ohio.
Is there a motion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I would urge adoption of resolution, or I would move resolution number 20-2016.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 20-2016. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, staff is also recommending that we enter into another expansion incentive with an operation, a pharmaceutical operation on Northland Boulevard that is intending a sizable, a substantial expansion into some land in our Carolyn Park. They will also be adding additional jobs. And so, again, this is an outright incentive to begin with, and then additional incentives, again, pegged to the additional payroll. And I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on Resolution 20-2016?
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Resolution 20-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item C. A motion would be in order. Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I would move to receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is item D. Is there a motion? Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that we convene an executive session to discuss 3 litigation issues and 1 personnel matter.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we convene into executive session for the discussion of possible legal items and personnel items. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to adjourn into executive session?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
The motion to adjourn into executive session passes 7-0. For the purpose of our audience, I would state that no official business will be taken in the executive session. When the executive session is over, we will come back and a motion will be made to adjourn the executive session and reconvene into the regular council meeting, at which time there may or may not be further business done before adjournment. So at this time, we will adjourn into executive session, and we will meet in the back room right behind us. No, we're going to meet in 3B upstairs, because for this executive session, we would have the law director, the human resource director, and the city manager joining us. So at this time, we will adjourn to room 3B upstairs. Executive session and reconvene into the regular council meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to adjourn executive session and reconvene the regular session, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is item E, a motion. Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to direct the law director to initiate a cease and desist order and liquor license revocation of the Uptown Lounge.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we direct the law director to initiate a cease and desist order and liquor license revocation for Uptown Lounge. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Question? Go ahead.
Actually, for the law director. Should we amend this to delete the liquor license revocation?
No, that should always remain an option.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, is this a roll call or voice?
It's a voice, simple motion.
Simple motion, voice vote. All those in favor of the motion to initiate, have the law director to initiate the cease and desist order, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
One abstention.
We have one abstention because you're recusing yourself.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Then the motion to direct the law director passes with one abstention. Is there any further business to come before the body? Is there any further business to come before the body? No further business to come before the body? Meeting is adjourned.